I told these women before we started, there's Oprah and Gail, and then there's Meri Brown and Jenn Sullivan, honey. I mean,
I mean, really, it's Meri and just Jenn.
Just Jenn. Just Jenn.
It's the real Meri and just Jenn.
That's right.
the real Meri and just Jenn.
We're putting Nick's on the last name.
Oh, you guys, okay, I like this. You guys are going to be known just for your first names. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, just like Lucy and Ethel.
Lucy and Ethel, Meri and Jenn.
Yeah.
Wow. Actually, I think you two are big enough now. Yeah, this is happening. All right. This is where we're first names.
Only in our own minds.
Well, I am so honored. This is amazing. Obviously, Meri Brown, star of Sister Wives, your bestie, Jenn, doesn't even have a last name. Now also a star of Sister Wives with the post shows. So before we get into all the good stuff about the shows and your incredible careers, Jenn, how are you doing? I think people, you had a hysterectomy. People have been thinking, where are the Fridays with Friends? They want to know that you two girls are still friends. So how are you doing? Can you give us any updates?
Okay. I have received so many messages from people thinking I'm missing, asking if I'm okay, if my friendship's over.
They think that we're not besties anymore.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why it stopped. And I'm like, I've posted twice that I just decided to throw away my uterus. So I thought I was clear about that, We
put it out there. I've talked about it on social media. She had to get her uterus cut out, and she's kind of got to heal from that. Yes. And so, I'm not going to make her do Fridays with Friends on Instagram.
No, I told her, I'm like, I would almost be okay with doing it in the beginning. And then she goes, but you're going to laugh. And I'm like, I can't see you for 6 weeks. So she was going through withdrawals. She's like, I can't see you. And I'm like, you can, but you can't make me laugh. You have to be just no emotion whatsoever. At one point, you and Nicole, everyone was just laying on my bed, hanging out, no laughter allowed,
No laughing.
But I'm okay. My husband and Meri were both just Hill, do nothing, Hill. I got so tired of hearing it. I almost needed a new best friend and a new husband because they would not shut up. They're like, oh, just heal and do nothing. And I'm like, I have so much to do.
I don't want to heal. I'm done healing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's exhausting to do nothing. Right. I was losing my mind. So, but I'm doing good.
Especially because we'll talk about, but I mean, you two work together, between the bed and breakfast, WorthyUp. But how did you two actually become friends? How did you two meet?
Murder for hire.
That's right. I have a very special set of skills, and I utilize them wisely.
Was this to kill Kody? Was this to murder Kody, and then you guys just
whatever her pest needs are, I got her back.
If it's a pest and it needs to be murdered,
yeah, I'm the one.
She's my girl.
I'm good at what I do.
That's a true ride or die right there. That's a true.
I'm telling you for sure. So
wait,
yeah, that's literally where it came from.
Okay, so murder for hire. We found you on a website. You obviously didn't go to jail for that. But wait, no, how did you guys really meet? Were you
She doesn't believe it.
Sarah, legit
murder.
She hired me for murder, and I took care of all of her needs.
Pest needs.
Bound chicken.
Listen, people think that already. You're just adding to it.
Jeez, great, fabulous.
Okay.
Whatever.
We're putting her in tears.
It's not allergies.
It's not allergies, it's tears. Okay, so murder for hire website is how you two met.
There was no website. She found listen, you don't have a website for these kinds of things. She found me on the black market. So we're actually at a convention. So the convention is where she hired me.
In Vegas, what stays in Vegas,
what happens in Vegas
stays in Vegas. Murder for hire convention.
I actually still have a murder for hire business here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, add it to it. You're like a busy businesswoman. And
that's right.
So, well, speaking of that, so you guys, obviously you start your friendship from a convention, and you guys have been besties ever since. But now you work together, which is so fascinating to me. How do you two do this balance? Because I don't know. I always usually never end up becoming friends or staying friends with people I work with. How are you two doing it?
A lot of Xanax. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm so kidding. No. So even before, like, I technically worked for her, when I was in Oregon, when I was in Vegas, she'd be like, I can't. I don't know how. I need help. And I just be like, yeah, let me do this. That's what I do.
And I decided it was probably best to maybe pay her for her services, whatever services they were, murder or whatever.
Yeah. So essentially, like, I've always just, like, I'm the doer. If somebody tells me there's a problem, no matter what the problem is, I'm going to solve it.
Yeah. She goes in and she just gets it done and gets it fixed. And I'm like, honestly, I am not a techie person. Like, and she definitely is. And so she does like a lot, everything, not even a lot, just everything techie for me.
Yeah.
I know we all need somebody like that.
And then some.
I've been some. So you guys working together all these years, being friends, now being on TV together at times. Have you guys ever had a conflict and how have you resolved it?
Never. Shut up.
Oh,
we've never had a conflict.
We're in a fight now.
Yeah, we're conflicted. We haven't talked for like 6 weeks.
It's been really weird. No, there have been times that we've been like, I'll be like, are you cool? Everything okay? And
she'll be like, don't talk to me.
I don't know. I need a minute, and we just have our little moment alone. We come back, we talk about it. Everything's cool.
She wants to hug it out. And I'm like, no, here, have some Sarazen. And we're good.
She doesn't.
I'm not a hugger.
No.
I did hug you today.
You did hug me.
Yeah.
That was really sweet.
Yeah.
But I think that was a you thing. Not
yeah.
me
I
thing.
felt like I needed to hug you. Yeah.
Which is so rare.
I don't ever need hugs. You needed a hug, damn it.
She is not a physical touch person. That is like my main love language.
Yeah.
And like her last.
Murder is my love language.
Well, we're going to talk about that because you did have some murderous moments actually on season 18 that were really good. But Meri, I got to give you, I have to give you props. I mean, I know you've been doing so much work on yourself, but do you give yourself credit? I mean, you have been on television nearly 15 years. I mean, you have a reality TV career that, no pun intended, most people would kill for. I mean, okay, pun intended, right? I guess we're all going there.
Yes.
Do you reflect? I mean, Meri, you're a big star, becoming a bigger star. I mean, how do you handle it?
I don't know. It doesn't seem so out of the ordinary for me because I've been doing it for so long. Like at the very beginning, it was like really weird to walk around and have people know who I was, especially. So we were in Utah when we first started, right? Yeah. And I remember this one time, maybe a year in, we were in New York doing a media tour, and people were like coming up and talking to me, and I'm like, how do you know? Oh, that's right. I guess the show does air in other places. And then even like last summer, I was in London, and people were that's right. I guess it is airing everywhere in the world. So it still surprises me sometimes. But, I've learned that I need to just kind of have my personal boundaries. But when I'm out and about, like if you're cool and you come up and talk to me and, you want a picture.
You don't try to like lick her or something weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Don't do things like that.
I will say I much prefer it when people come up to me and talk to me and say hi rather than just like the weird, like, ooh, let's take a picture when she's not watching while she's eating a salad. Like that, like there literally was one person in the airport one time. I was eating a salad. She was hiding behind like this rack of cards or something like that. And I'm like, if you let me have your phone and let me watch you delete that photo, because I literally was putting a bite of salad in my mouth, I will take a selfie with you. She's like, I didn't want to be weird. And I'm like, no, that was weird.
Yeah.
Let's just take a picture. Let's just be normal. Here's the thing. I think people don't know that I'm
normal.
Human.
Yeah.
I'm just human. Just talk to me. Say hi. I'm cool with that. Maybe not to my personal front door, but when I'm out and about.
Yeah.
Has that happened? Have you had a stalker?
Oh, yes.
So many.
There's been lots of stalkers.
Really? Wait, what did they do? Did they come to the bed and breakfast? What do they do?
Yeah. They're literally everywhere all the time. We have a very good security system in place. courtesy of, thank God, to my husband. We can just keep adding to it, but we've had to call law enforcement and have people removed. It's happened.
Yeah.
Wow. Meri, I was saying this to you before we started, but I feel like the show is about to have its biggest season yet. You know, for a lot of reasons, right? And things out of your control and some tragic. But I mean, are you guys, how do you feel? Do you feel it? Like, I just think this show, even though we're now like 15 years in, I almost feel like it's just beginning to hit its stride. And we know season 19 is coming. We know I know you can't say too much, but at least it's out there that there's even more seasons in the works. But what are you two having internal conversations? Do you feel it like it's getting even bigger?
You know, it's hard to say, like, is it getting bigger? Is it on the downhill? I mean, we've been going for so long, and it's not something that's going to go forever. You know, it's just not, like, no show ever goes forever, right? So, but you can't predict it either. You know, like, I don't think that we ever would have thought that we'd have gone this long. You know what I mean? And we have, but we just, you know, I mean, people like the drama. People like to, I think actually people started watching it at the very beginning because they're like, what is this? Like,
Train wreck.
Train wreck. I was going to say shit show. But you know, it's like, it's, you know, it's a train wreck. This guy with all these wives and a zillion kids, like,
this
that's
can't go
crazy.
well.
This is a train wreck. So I think at the very beginning, people were very curious about what this was, because it, like, when we first started, it was not. I mean, you saw like the people who did the, you know, assigned marriages and the underage marriages and stuff like that, and we're like, no, that's not what it's all about, right? But then as the show progressed, I think people very much created like their favorites, you know, like, I'm a favorite, everybody's team Meri, or everybody's team Janelle or Christine, or
that's about it.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know. There might be team Cody, and there might be team Robyn. Yeah, I have no idea. Anyway, people create their, like, they have their favorite. They just connect. It's very normal. It's very normal. They're going to connect with different people, right? And so now they're watching as we're kind of going our different ways and doing our thing, because they want to know what is happening in our lives.
Okay, you guys, you bring up Kody and Robyn, right? And fan favorites, which you're absolutely right. This show really, you guys have people that ride for each of you in different ways very hard. And Jenn, you spoke about this on the after shows. You became one of the stars of the after shows. But I mean, Kody and Robyn are, it appears on the internet, so disliked. And in fact, you even see articles like they're two of the most disliked TV personalities out there. I mean, do you guys think that's justified for them? And are they aware of that? Like, does that bother them? What do you think?
It bothers me. Sorry, let me tell you.
Go ahead.
So like, I have all my feelings about everybody, like, right? Like,
yes,
you know, they've been around for forever, but at the same time, the articles, they hurt, and like, I worry. So like, I hate the articles. I hate when they're like, Kody's the most hated or Robyn's the most hated, like, because I worry about everyone's mental health. Like, this is not a healthy environment for people to just be like trashed, and it worries me. But
we know that because it's happened to us when people trash talk us. Like, it really messes with people's heads when that happens. So across the board, I don't think it's very cool.
Yeah, I've always been very cautious. Like, even when like the show's asked, like, what are your opinions? I'm like, I'm gonna just censor myself right here, because I don't want to be like that point that pushes somebody over the edge, you know. So I'm very cautious. So I absolutely hate those articles. I hate them with such a passion, because I feel like when you see those articles, if you're in them, which I've been in them, apparently we're not even friends anymore, they can start to mess with you, right? Even like, if you know it's not true, it can really start to mess with you. And so I don't know that it's justified. I feel like they see a very heavily edited section of a very tiny piece of filming. And I mean, yeah, there's plenty of people who don't like them, and that's based on them not making themselves look very likable.
Yeah.
But I hate the articles. I hate the articles. Sorry. There's my soapbox. I don't like it.
No, I'm going to ask you about that. But I mean, Meri, you were married to him obviously for years. I mean, do you think it's justified? Do you think we're seeing just these snippets? I don't know. Do you think like Kody and Robyn are aware and are trying to soften it? How do you, or do you
I'm
think?
sure. Well, oh, sorry.
No, go on. No, please.
I'm sorry. I'm sure they're very aware. Like, you can't be in a place that we are and we have been for, 14, 15 years and not be aware, and to Jenn's point, like, it messes with people. Like, there's been times that I have to get off of social media and just take a break because I need to gather my wits because people are so hateful, right? Whether or not it's justified, let's put it this way. It doesn't matter what I say. I'm going to get in trouble for what I say. Whether it's for, you know what I mean? Like, people are going to be like, well, if you say something that's, well, I'm just going to say this. I think that Kody has been under a lot of pressure, and maybe that pressure cooker exploded.
Got it. Yeah.
I'm just going to say it that way. I think that our family structure, being in the public eye, I think that it has been a lot of pressure, and some people handle pressure better than others, and at different times. I know that I have not handled pressure well at times either. You know what I mean? So I think this is very normal, to just, I mean, sometimes you just kind of,
sometimes you're the favorite and sometimes
you're
the least favorite.
Yeah. You two have come close, I think, a couple of times in your Fridays and Friends, talking more about maybe the rumors that are out there, bloggers that really, it sounds like really get under both of your skins. And I mean, rightfully so. Now, I've never been in that position, but I'm certainly on the other side of like reporting because I know how much people are so interested in you. Can you guys talk about maybe the line that you wish that we all would maybe do better at? And are there any, I mean, Meri, there have been so many wild rumors, right? About all of you guys. Kody.
She's been married like 100 times this week.
I mean, you've been married. Kody's had plastic surgery. Robyn's hired a PR person. Like you're dating. I mean, I think I read you were dating David Woolley before Christine Brown married him. I mean, there's so like, are there any? Oh, is that a new one?
That's a new one to me. The Kody and the plastic surgery. That's a new one to me. I haven't heard that one.
I told her, there was a picture I saw and I said, "Did you have a nose job?" Like I'm just like, you gotta be kidding
some of the
me.
things that people put out there are so funny. And honestly,
the funny ones are funny.
Right. Yeah. The funny ones are funny, but then people, I think my issue is anybody who's out there talking about me, and I'm just going to say me just because I don't feel like it's fair for me to talk about anybody else, but like in the family, anybody who's out there talking about me who doesn't know the real situation, like they're just making stuff up. And there's a lot of people out there who are like, well, they're going to take little bits of information from here or there, wherever it is they take it, and they're going to create this story. And that's just what it is. So like I always tell people, you want to know the real thing about me, the real Meri, you know what I mean? Like follow me and follow my story, follow my businesses. That's where you're going to know the real,
Yeah. Yeah. Jenn, what about you? Do you feel like, I mean, I'm sure as her dear friend and you guys work together, I mean, it must be hard not to stand up for her. I mean, are there any stories that you guys want to clear up that stand out that you're like, Meri's not remarried or?
No, I enjoy actually most of them. I think they're hilarious. And I'm like,
the ones about me.
Can we get like a free toaster out of it? Or people going to send you wedding gifts?
I want to start a registry.
I want to start a registry on Target. I'm going to start a Meri Brown Target registry, and all the things that like we might want, things we can donate to the shelter. I'm just going to put that on there. Every time she gets married, just go buy stuff. Like the stories are they're ridiculous. And so like when they're funny,
the pregnancy ones, those are the
funniest. My gosh. Yes.
Obviously you don't follow my story, and this body does not have babies.
She's no longer a baby making machine.
I am no longer, like, even when I was a baby making machine, it was not a baby making machine. But it's not a baby making machine anymore.
Yeah.
It's one of the parts of your story I relate to the most. I've had 3 miscarriages. I have one little boy who's 3, had one success. I went back and watched season 1 and I just, I cry when I see it because it's my own story, and I think it was so brave. You put yourself out there 10, 15 years ago before the major advances of IVF, before all that. I mean, I know you're way beyond that, but I mean, do you even look back at that and think, God, you kind of broke ground for TV and talking about women and fertility?
I didn't realize that I was kind of close to the beginning of that conversation. I didn't know that. For me, it was just my story. I dealt with infertility. I was lucky enough to get one amazing child. I did have, my one miscarriage, but other than that, like my body just didn't work that way after going through like so much. Like I never did IVF, but everything up to IVF, I did it all, and I even did like all the naturopathic care too, like through the years. It was just my story, and I know that so many people deal with it, and so many people haven't even been able to have the blessing of having one child. And so I just feel so lucky,
Yeah, so do I. So do I. Sorry to bring it down. You guys were having so much fun with the rumors, and then we went there.
It's all good. It's all good.
So you had said, sorry, I'm going to hijack your podcast. So welcome to what I do. You had asked, what is the line, right? For people, if they're writing articles. Well, first, I don't think you can categorize yourself on the same level as some of the people that we've talked about being hateful bloggers. Because you said, for people like me, right? You're not those people. You're giving us an opportunity to speak and to be heard. And that's really awesome. But then there's some people who they're looking for the most dramatic or awful or negative thing that they can find to just rip apart and expose somebody. And those are the people that are they're vile. They're not actual, they're not in the news. They're not in reality news. They're just looking for $1, and it's disgusting. I hate it. But I really think that the line is drawn at kids. I honestly do. I don't think that kids should be talked about. They shouldn't be on the table, whether they're minors or adult kids. If they're not present, I don't think the conversation should include them. And I really struggle with that a lot. And I think more so because when I'm here, when my kids used to come here, which I'm not even really comfortable with them being here anymore, people would just try to talk to them. And it was weird for me because they're my kids and I get all mama bear, which I'm sure you understand, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So that's one of the main things. And if they decide that they hate me because they've decided I've said something, fine, I don't care, fuck them. Because at some point, you're not FCC. I'm good with that, right?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck. We say
yeah,
fuck.
I think I'm good to say fuck them.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fuck them. Because at some point they're probably going to meet me, right? Sooner or later they'll find me. Maybe they'll need me for my services, and they're going to realize that I'm not whatever asshole they've decided I am. And so I don't care if they talk crap about me. That is totally fine. I have been called some fun names. I actually we laugh about them, but don't talk about my kids. Yeah. I don't want my kids brought into it. I don't want any of the kids brought into it. If the kids choose to go and be on TV, fine. But until then, kids are off limit.
You guys, I wanted to go back to talking about rumors, because when you were Meri, when you were dating Amos, it did seem that people came out of the woodwork to dig up things about him. Jenn, did you become mama bear about Meri? And Meri, did everyone coming at you, did that contribute to you all parting ways? When you heard, people basically said he moved to Orange County to try to date Tamra Judge from Real Housewives of Orange County. The ship, people, which in a way was sweet because I feel like people really were defending you. They really want you to find true love. But that was I thought those rumors were intense. What'd you all think?
So we had talked about to him, we said, listen, beware.
Also, can we just listen? I'm not dating him. It's really weird at this point to actually be talking about this 4-month stint in my life. And also, if we're going to say his name, we need to say it correctly, and it's Amos.
Thank you. I always
and if ever sees this, he'll probably be like, what the hell are you talking about me for? Because
we're sorry.
Like, he did not sign up for this, except for he kind of did, because I said, you know what's going to happen once we put you out on social media. If you want to be talked about on my Instagram.
He was sweetly naive. He didn't realize that like people would care. So that was like hard. And I kept saying, you can literally do anything and they're going to tear you apart. And he's like, it'll be fine. And so I felt really bad, but we did try to make sure that he was aware and prepared for it, because I've been through it and I'm not even dating her, contrary to every article you may read. You know.
Yeah, let's talk about your hot relationship next time.
Right? So my poor husband, he's like he just puts up with so much.
Right.
He puts up with so much.
Yeah, we tried to just like, hey, listen, this is what's going to happen. If you want to go public with the fact that we're dating,
everything will come
they're
out.
Going to find things and they're going to make things up. Yeah. It just is what it is.
So and a lot of both happened.
Yeah.
So there were things that came out that he would probably preferred hadn't, and there were a lot of ridiculous made up things, and that was fun. And so I had already dug up his past, and so we had talked about it like before, but still having him be under the microscope with me is one thing. Having him be under the microscope for every single person who loves Meri and wants to protect her, or maybe just those who wanted to like try to ruin her relationship, either way. Yeah. It was a whole different thing. It's really hard.
And I think that was a bit of a shocker to him. I mean, I knew what to expect. She knew what to expect, but he had no idea what was coming down.
Moving on, you are dating. Let's talk about the current hot man. Thank you, Amos, for that. You know, sorry to bring your name back into it. Lovely, Amos. But anyway, all right, how are you dating now? Are you on the high-end dating website Raya? I want to see you on Raya.
What is that?
Oh my God, Jen, you got to get her
I've
on.
never heard of this.
Is there a promo code? Let's get a promo code.
Promo code Sarah Fraser?
Yeah, like Raya now is being sponsored.
It is.
I'm going to have to look into this one.
You have to be vetted. You've got to be vetted. They are legitimate. Ben Affleck was on there before Jennifer Lopez. It's high profile people, wealthy people. You've got to go through a acceptance like whole thing, and it's very elite. Not everybody can join, but you are the perfect person.
Interesting.
And I think it's spelled Raia. Jen, you got to look into this for our girl, because I'm like, she needs to be on Raya. Like, she'll find a great, like, I'm so curious who you want to date,
right?
You're screening
when
people.
When I was talking with Rachel, you could tell on her Misunderstood podcast, she was awesome. She's so good.
I love her.
But we started talking about like dating, like, and having this like dating, like a dating show or something like that. You know, it was kind of funny. It's like, I don't know.
My husband is intent on setting her up. We live in a tiny town, right? So like my husband's circle of people is extremely small. And he's like, Meri, what do you want? And she's like, someone taller than me, someone in this age range. And he'll text me. He's like, there's a dude in here. He's taller. You want a picture? And I'm like, would you stop? Stop it. Don't you have things to do?
Always trying to
always. Like we're literally doing a singles bike ride. And the only reason is for her. That's it. Just for her. Just so that like she can be surrounded by all the singles and she can just, you know. This is my husband's idea, by the way. This is what he does. He's like, if we could double date, this would be so much fun, because we exclude him, not on purpose, but he gets tired of our shit and he leaves. So,
oh my God, are you having fun with it though? Like, I mean, it has to be a whole new world for you. I mean, all these like, okay, tell us.
It's such a completely different world. The idea of dating is so weird for me. Like, I met Kody when I was 18. We got married when I was 19. And now I
met her endlessly too. Which helps.
Yeah, she does. She does. Like, I'm 53 now, you know, and it's like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but also it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Okay. Are you going out with somebody every single week? Are you in your Meri, I'm in my hookup stage? Like, I am like not getting tied down. Like, Meri, how's the hot sex going? Like, we want to know.
I asked her that, and she I think she wanted to flick me, but it was a recorded call. I love to torment her.
She loves to pick on me. It's kind of funny.
I'm like, let me get you prepared.
I am not dating, going out on dates every night or every weekend or anything like that.
You don't have time.
I don't have time. I'm building my empire. So what is going to have to happen is finding a guy who is totally cool with big kinds of social media, obviously. People digging into his life, but also
they have to be really driven.
Very driven. They have to, he's going to have to match my energy and be a support to me, be a support system. That's what I want. Somebody who matches my energy. He's got focus. He's got goals. He's got things he wants to do. What?
Calling a squirrel on a mission.
Squirrel on a mission? What do you even mean?
Because you're all over the place. You're 52,000 things going on. She needs a squirrel on a mission to match her squirrel on a mission. She's got so many things going on.
I squirrel really well.
I know.
Evidently, so does she.
I want it on a hat.
Squirrel on a mission.
I want a hat for you.
All right.
We're doing it.
Next T-shirt made. Squirrel on a mission.
Yeah.
I mean, I am so excited. I'm so excited for your dating life. I mean, okay, when you meet him, maybe this is really cart before the horse, but I mean, would you ever put him on TV? Would you, I mean, Christine jumped in. She's featuring her man.
You know what? That's going to have to be dependent on him and our relationship and what he would want.
I'm going to ask him if he likes to be filmed.
Oh my Lord.
I'm so asking that. I'm going to be like, hey, you want to be filmed?
Yeah.
Jen is work. I love it.
Such a dirty mind. I can't figure her out.
Yes, you can. You know exactly where I'm at. You just don't want to admit it.
Jen, I'm with you. I want to see Meri on hot, sexy dates. I mean, I'm not the whole thing. I want to see makeout sessions. Let's go. This is a whole world for you ladies.
For one of us.
I'm so embarrassed.
Okay, wait. Let's talk WorthyUp. I love WorthyUp. I'm a huge Mel Robbins fan like you are, Meri. I know you and I love our girl. Have you met her yet in real life? I feel like you two would hit.
No, but I sure would love to.
Okay, we got to put that out there.
Are you picking up your phone to call her?
Yeah.
Go, Mel.
I'll get on the phone too.
I love her. She is truly amazing. Jamie Lima, I love. These people, I mean, yeah, she's amazing.
Okay.
I have listened. Oh yes, go ahead.
No, go on. I want to know how Mel has helped you transform. Because watching you as a fan for 2 years, I mean, you just seem so light. You seem starting with last summer. You seem light. You seem happy. And I feel like it's I just hear you talk about Mel. So I'm wondering what she's given you that's changed you.
So
tell her the thing.
She's hitting me.
I'm hitting her.
Tell her what?
The thing where you're whenever you say gluten-free and it's stupid.
This is the funniest thing.
Yes. Tell her.
Okay. So I listen to Mel Robbins every morning. I listen to her podcast or one of her books, every morning when I'm getting ready. Right. So I'm always giving Jen information that I hear on the Mel Robbins podcast. Always. Well, Jen has got celiac disease. And so whenever she talks to me,
she'll be like, what are you eating?
She'll be like, I needed to go buy some gluten-free bread. And I'm like, duh, you don't have to tell me it's gluten-free. I know it's gluten-free bread. You don't have to say the gluten-free part. I'm like that with Mel Robbins. So I heard on the Mel Robbins podcast.
No,
if it's a podcast. It doesn't have, you don't have to tell me it's the Mel Robbins podcast. I know everything you listen to is the Mel Robbins podcast.
It is. So Mel Robbins is her gluten-free.
Yeah, there it is.
Mel is your celiac disease. You're not getting rid of her. You're not. Look, you are going to be.
So I listen. No, sorry. No, I started listening to her a few years ago, shortly after I discovered her 5-second rule book. I'm like, I love this lady. Who is she? I need to get more of her. And so I've just started following her. She is amazing. She is brilliant. And what I find for me going through, not even just because it's been, a year and a half that I've been separated, officially divorced, from Kody. But this journey for me started a long time ago, I would say, I guess deep into it, probably maybe 5-ish years, right? And it's just been a process. But the thing that I have found is so important to me is feeding myself with positivity, and having people like Mel Robbins, Jamie Kern-Lima, like all the wisdom that they share has been so good for me in my journey. So
I bet you can see it in you, and you can just see how happy you are, which
thank you.
obviously brought the launch of WorthyUp. You guys, talk to us about WorthyUp. It seemed like a very successful launch. Of course, y'all already are used to feedback. You knew you were going to get people that said the
Yeah.
prices were too high or this or that. How's it been going? And I think the biggest thing, like I looking at it and kind of just like seeing everything on your website, like what are you offering people every single month that's really tangible that they take away from it?
So WorthyUp is really just kind of the safe space that I've created to help people and remind people that they are worthy, just simply because they exist, right? Like too many times, especially in the world of social media, you know how it is now, like we get in our own heads from things that we hear and see on the external, right? People will say things to us or, about us or whatever. And that sometimes is so hard to let go of. And so in WorthyUp, I really am just trying to share my process and my journey that I've been through. Like I've had a lot of things happen to me. I've been involved in a lot of things, you know what I mean? And needing to come out of some really dark places myself, by using tools like listening to Mel Robbins every morning or whatever. It's this constant journey. And what's really cool is the community of people that is currently there, and it's always growing, but the community of people, we get on these calls and we talk and we learn and we grow and we go and have activities together, and and it's just really cool to have this place where people are comfortable talking about some of the issues that they're having. I talk about some of the things that's going on in my life, and we just kind of figure it out together. It's really just kind of cool.
Yeah. And they even, a lot of times on the calls, like there will be people who are like, I'm dealing with a lot of negative self-talk. And then other people will say, hey, I've been there and here's what I'm doing. And there's a lot of encouragement, and like they're growing and they're getting more comfortable, and having that safe place to do that is really important. And there's always feedback, and we welcome the feedback because of course it's going to help her to grow WorthyUp the way that she needs to. And that paywall was an important part of it, because allowing just anybody in, as to any kind of a group, right? If there's not something that they're having to put into it in order to have access, you're going to get steamrolled by all the garbage. You're going to have people in there who are intentionally trying to take advantage of somebody or who are trying to hurt people, because that's the society that we live in, as much as I hate it. And this is a safe place for them to be able to talk. That group is private. There's no one who can see that except for the people who have decided that it's important enough for them to build and to grow. And so they make that next step. And so we've tried to make sure that we have different levels so that no matter what their financial situation, they can be involved.
Yeah, because you even have,
and we're continuing to grow that.
Yeah.
Don't you have like a $25 a month? It's fairly reasonable, right? Isn't there a tier that's pretty
There's
low?
not one.
If you break it down,
there's
with shop installments, they're
that's true. I guess I forget about the installment thing. See, she's a techie person. There's a way that you can do the installments and make it, break it down. So
you don't have
monthly.
to pay it up front.
Yeah.
And people like saw that amount and they're like, oh my gosh. And so if you break it down, and this was for this year, it's really not as expensive. And we're consistently, sorry, we're getting messages that are blowing up my watch and my phone. We're consistently trying to make sure that we're finding ways to include people, so that they still have to put something into it in order to gain access, so that we don't have every troll and crazy person out there in there. And so there still has to be some kind of a paywall to protect everybody that's in there.
But we also have the WorthyUp Facebook page too,
and
that is completely free. Yeah. And they can follow along, and there's different levels of content that you get, how much ever you want to invest in it, in yourself. So
now, just knowing you ladies for the past 40 minutes, I already think I know the answer to this, but did you care, Meri? I mean, people were like, why would I take advice from her? I'm like, I feel like she's the perfect person. Can you imagine living all of your highs and lows and mistakes on fucking TV with all these people watching? Like, I mean, letting people in your, you know what I mean? You know the conversations in the privacy of your own home. You've allowed people for 15 years to film those. I'm like, there's no better woman to tell you how to live your life. I mean,
well,
can we use that?
Thank you. I totally appreciate that.
I want to use that clip for WorthyUp. So can I just have a copy of that?
Yes, you can use it. Yes. Hey, Jen, this is like offline, but I feel like you guys should we should do some sort of trade because you guys should be on the Sarah Fraser show talking about WorthyUp. There's no better people. And I mean,
I really appreciate that, Sarah. That's how I feel. It's like, here's the thing. In order to teach somebody and influence somebody and guide somebody for something that maybe they're looking for, the only thing that you have to know is one step ahead of them. You need to only have learned one more thing than them. You know, she might know 1 + 1 is 2. I might know 2 + 2 is 4. And I can teach 2 + 2 is 4 to her because I know it. You know what I mean? It's just one step ahead. That's it. And I'm not saying I'm ahead. I'm not saying I'm all that. I'm just saying that I have gone through some experiences. I mean, I personally wouldn't want to listen to somebody who has never gone through a hardship in their life.
Yeah.
If they've had it like super easy, like what can I learn from them? Because it's been super easy.
There's going to be a lack. There's going to be a lack of empathy too, because they haven't actually been through that. So in her case, she's been through a shit ton.
Well, and just in your business experience from what I've read, right? You guys, I think at one point had like, you know, you've had a book out as a family, you've had like a clothing company I mean, you know, the thing is too, you also want to take business advice from people who have launched businesses, been successful, had failures. I don't care who you are in business. I own a podcasting business. There are years I've failed. Like that's the only way you're going to figure out, how do I keep making money in this business, help other people to make money? I mean, you have so much experience from business side to, I mean, being even just coexisting with 3 other women and a man in the house. That's
well, like, you know, all failure is knowledge.
Yeah.
All failure is knowledge. And once you have that knowledge, then you can move forward from there. Right. So really is failure. You know what I mean? Failure is power.
Meri, what's your goal with business? I mean, it almost seems like you guys have created this empire. I have to imagine the bed and breakfast, WorthyUp. I mean, everything is generated by the show. I think the ratings are going to be enormous for season 19. I mean, what do you see yourself being? Like, do you want to almost become a Mel where you've got like multiple businesses and you're this like CEO? Like, where do you see it?
Oh yeah, I totally see that. Like I have things I want to accomplish. I want to inspire people. I feel like I have stories that can inspire people. Yeah, I've got some big things planned and we're going places.
Stay busy for sure.
Yep.
Okay, so now when are we getting the spinoff like Meri's World and we're getting like Jenn?
Meri's World. That could be a fun little thing. Good idea there.
Yeah, do that.
Like I'll come on the production team. Like I just feel like Jenn setting you up on dates, Jenn and I having a cocktail, waiting for you to get back after hooking up with this hot guy. I mean, you know, I just think we have a lot to say. I mean, it's just gonna be a show.
I love it. I love it. Let's do it.
Look, I can't let you go without doing my job and asking, you know, you guys did suffer a huge loss this spring. I mean, it was devastating to all of us that watch. Obviously, I told you I'm very close with TLC people. I know the production was heartbroken. Everybody was devastated by Garrison's passing. You've given updates, but I mean, you know, how are you guys all doing? How are you? Are you nervous about going into season 19 with the weight of his passing? You know, can you give us any, I guess, day-to-day updates, how y'all are doing?
So I really think that grief it's a very, very individual thing. and it changes on the daily. You know, I know for me, sometimes I feel just fine, and sometimes I feel, you know, I'll see his phone number in my phone, which I have not deleted yet. You know, I was looking at it, you know, last week, and it just like it brings tears to my eyes, you know. And it's like grief is so individual, and I think every one of us in the family feels it at a different level at different times, you know, and that's just normal. You know, the thing with grief is, you know, people say that it's this hole, you know, and that hole will be filled up, you know, and eventually, you know, you're not going to feel that pain. I personally think that you're going to create your life around it, and your life is going to just keep getting bigger and bigger around that hole. That hole is always going to be there, but also we need to keep on living and building our life around, you know, around that hole. Um,
You know,
but yeah,
I know you, I think it was you. Forgive me if I got this incorrect, but I think it was you. I know some other family members have spoken out and said, you know, maybe one tiny silver lining of this is that a lot of you and as the family had come back together, whether it was at Garrison's funeral. And then I think there was even this talk like you guys were going to have a family reunion in the month of June. Like, I guess, has there been anything positive? Like, have you all had a moment because you've been under so much pressure, like you said, and so much
yeah,
fame and
yeah,
separation? Like, I hate to say the word silver lining because there's nothing good in what, you know, I mean, it's just so
yeah.
tragic. But I guess, is there any feelings of like you had a feeling of like hope or recovery, or I've seen these people again now and maybe things are a little softer? Like, is there anything there?
You know, we definitely have had our moments where we've been together as a family, you know, and celebrating Garrison's life. And those moments have been good, and it's been, you know, kind of cool to reconnect with different people that maybe you don't see all the time, because we're living all over the place now, you know.
Huh.
And even like the older kids, you know, and they've kind of been off and living their lives, you know, for many years. And so it's good to be able to come back and together and see each other. And I think there has been a little bit of healing between some of the relationships that I've seen, and that's kind of cool to see that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Leon, you know, I love Leon. You've been an incredible mother, as all of us mothers are,
Thank
right?
you.
Does Leon give you advice? Like, how does Leon still feel about the show? Putting their life out there, right? Their sexuality, their everything. I mean, and I think you deserve a lot of credit as a mama bear because that's
Thank you.
you get a lot of feedback on that, right? From people who have all kinds of thoughts
I
and
do. I do. You know, the commentary that I get about Leon is very polarizing. You know, I mean, it is. It just it is. It's going to be that way. And I always appreciate the support. You know, the comments of support that I get, and obviously, I don't appreciate the hate that comes at me. I don't think hate has any purpose or any value. You know. So, but yeah, no, Leon and I have a good relationship, and I don't talk about them a lot just because they kind of want to remain as private and have their own life, you know, as possible. But Leon and I have a really good relationship.
that's great. I'm sort of fishing here to see if you're going to be a glam ma. Like, are we getting any glam children? Are we?
I'm
Does
a dog
Leon,
grandma. I'm
Leon want?
currently a dog grandma. Yeah, I've got 3 granddogs.
Your granddogs are older than your dog.
I know.
Yeah. It's like a 16 and pregnant situation with
Yeah,
dogs.
it's kind of funny.
Wait, but
Well,
Mary,
it's funny when Leon met Zona. It's like, oh, you're kind of my sister. They were saying that to my dog. It's kind of cute.
like, do you ever see though you all going into business, like you and Leon? I mean, I don't know. You guys seem very close. You seem like you're obviously so
Yeah,
successful with your businesses. Do you ever think there's
yeah.
anything you all would do there? I don't know. Maybe about doggy siblings. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we both love our dogs equally. So dogs are a huge part of both of our lives. So yeah.
Oh, ladies, honestly, I could talk to you for 2 hours. I mean, your lives are just so freaking fascinating. I know you can't give away any secrets really for season 19, but I'm
Right.
think maybe you can give, are we going to see more of Jenn's hot takes? Can we talk about that? Are we seeing any more of Jenn's hot takes?
Jen will be around.
Oh, Jenn. All right, Jenn. Jenn, you seem, Jenn,
Listen, Jenn is a staple in my life. Like she's a staple in my life. So she's got to be around.
I stayed hidden for a very long time.
Like it's the funniest thing. People are like, "Where did Jenn come from?" Oh my goodness! Like she's saying all these things. It's like, oh, Jenn has always said all these things.
Yeah,
she's just.
I never
been a very low profile for many,
I never
many years.
wanted or needed to be on the show at all. In fact, I used to just refuse to sign the releases, and then they couldn't use me on the show. I'm sure Tim must have hated me back then. So I just didn't. I just chose not to be on. And like, very rarely did I ever show up. It's weird though, because people will send me things. They're like, "Oh, you were at Robyn's baby shower," and I'm like, "I was." And I'll text Meri, "I was there." It was like 15 years ago. 11 years ago, so long ago. So I did very good of staying off television because I wasn't interested. I'm still not interested. Honestly, I do it because she's asked me to, and I love her, and I'm here. And so being here present at the inn and helping her to run the businesses, it made sense to be on the show, but I did struggle a whole lot in the beginning. Like I refused to say anything publicly. Yeah, I was very cautious.
She was so careful. Yeah. She was so careful. Even in that last episode.
Even in the one where you think I was.
When she was kind of spicy, she was being so careful.
I was still very vanilla. I am very opinionated.
She's got things to say.
So, but I'm usually really good at like, if I have something to say, I will say it to the person who needs to hear it. And then you won't hear it again from me until I say, "I told you so."
So she said that to me a couple of times in my life.
But I'm really good at not like, if somebody else asks me, which happens a lot. People are like, "Oh, tell me." I'm like, no, I won't. I won't talk about her life, away from her. That's her life. So, and actually I'm this crazy person who, when I got here, I'm like, everyone has to have an NDA. So
yeah.
I've enforced NDAs on everybody, and it's really just to protect her, because I feel like if she can just be her, then there's no like fear or stress. And so I want her to ever feel like I'm not a safe person, because she's my safe person and I'm that for her. So I've always been very cautious, but yeah, I tell her exactly what she needs to hear, whether she likes it or not, and whether she thinks she needs to hear it or not.
Wow.
She does.
She's like, "Where's the mute button?"
She does.
You hopped on those postseason shows, and like I was like, wow, where is she? But you seem so comfortable. Like you didn't miss a beat. You had obviously thoughts about Kody and Robyn and Meri being with Kody, and wow, you didn't seem like you. Obviously, you're saying you're a person that doesn't hold back.
I don't, to her directly. You know what I mean? Like when productions ask me for my like little interview things, I'm like, no, get Meri in here. I'll tell her.
Yeah. She's definitely had opinions of me and my marital status for many years.
I know, Meri, do you have any regrets? I know on Rachel's show, I think she kind of asked you a similar question, and you said, really, it's just, when you're ready, you're ready. But I mean, I don't know. Do you know how like in life, sometimes you look back and it's always you contemplate, like, I don't want to feel like I wasted that time. I grew from it, but I kind of wasted it. Like, do you, as you discover your new life, you get.
I'm a little bit mixed on it sometimes. Like sometimes I will, like if I'm in more of a negative headspace, for lack of a better term, right? Like if I'm feeling like that, I'm like, gosh, dang it. Why couldn't we have just figured this out a long time ago? And I could have,
dated in my 40s.
Dated in my 40s rather than dated in my 50s. You know what I mean? Like that would have been so much easier. But then I really think about it and it's like, wait a second, what did I learn through the process? How confident am I in where I am right now because of the process? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I don't have any regrets of where I am now and leaving when I left. I don't have any regrets of that. I do feel like that had I left sooner than that, I would have always wondered, maybe there might have been a chance, or maybe there would, you know what I mean? I'm very, very confident in where I am.
I've asked her that, like, just her and I talking, and I'm like, why didn't you want to leave earlier? Because like I'm pushy, right? I think if you haven't figured that out, you will. And so I'm like, why? I'm ready for you to leave. I'm ready for you to make the next step. And she's like, I have to make sure that I'm not going to look back and wonder what if.
Yeah.
Which is, I am like a jump right into the deep end, and she's more of like a wade in type, which kind of works out because I could jump in and break my neck, So, but like I want her to just jump in too. But so we've had that conversation, and she's always come back and said, I don't have to worry because I know that I don't have any what ifs left.
I know we got to wrap up, but so I want to do some rapid fire. And I guess what you're saying, Meri, is
you did about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
15 more minutes. Yeah. I just rescheduled one.
Oh, did
you?
I just sent a quick poop.
We're yakking on. But I guess I was going to say from that, Meri, then the internet rumors have to be false. You're not going back to Kody and Robyn, because that's also out there that people say that you want to go back.
Oh my gosh. I see that all the time. And I'm like, really? No, promise that one's never going to happen. Never, ever getting back together.
By the way, have you two girls
quote me on that one?
Have you two splurged and gone to see Taylor Swift? You two should go see Taylor. Have you gone to see Taylor?
No. I don't go anywhere.
She doesn't.
You'll learn this. I don't go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I want to stay home with my kids. And if I go somewhere, they're usually with me. And I don't know that my kids
on
are
occasion
Swifties.
We go to Vegas.
Ugh.
Meri, did you laugh at? I had to have a laugh. And did you laugh at season 18, that damn barn dominium episode, or were you pissed? I mean, when he wanted to put you in a barn above his fucking four-wheelers, were you like, no, be honest with us.
With his garbage. All the stuff that he didn't want to deal with or see.
She's such a patient and kind person, and I choose violence. And I'm just like, in fact, we were talking about it because you had mentioned something about the barn dominium, and I'm like, did we watch that episode in like the thing, the talk back? I don't watch the show. So I learn everything that I learn either in real life or when someone says something and I text her and say, what the heck? And then
I have to tell her about
it. And I'm like, oh, that's what that is. So I didn't know about this stupid barn dominium. Whoa. I was so just,
But listen.
No,
if you have.
Okay, Jenn is going on.
Do it.
I feel like the snark is about to come
out. Do it.
Okay. So if you have somebody that you're willing to fake a relationship with, why doesn't it make sense to put them in the barn dominium? That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Well, I can fake it. Just go to my barn dominium.
Oh my hell. Like, why would you need to live in his barn dominium? Do you not own like everything yourself? Please tell me.
Maybe he thought that he's doing me a favor.
He can rent out a room at the inn if he needs, but like, I'm not going to give him any space in your barn dominium. I want you to have a barn dominium now so bad.
I do too.
Mary's building a barn dominium. We've just decided.
I know, next to the carriage house, you guys need the barn dominium. I mean, that would sell out.
It totally would.
Oh my gosh.
Sell out.
Oh, that's great.
We can do something so good with this.
You girls bringing me on the team? Like, am I on the team yet? Like, what?
Listen, maybe
we have like Cody's cave and then Mary's barn dominion.
Oh my gosh!
Wait, Jenn, the representative.
You know that other project that we're kind of talking about? Easy.
Wow.
What were you gonna say?
What?
Could you build the barn? I mean, this would be the ultimate kind of fuck you to him. Could you build the barn dominium on Coyote Pass on your lot?
In the middle of all 4 parcels so that every edge of the barn dominium is on a piece of a parcel.
Did that set him off?
Do I need to worry about if someone's going to set him off anywhere though?
Nope.
Guess not.
That's someone else's problem.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, why do you women think there's so much interest in Coyote Pass? Like, can you give us any, Meri, do you still own a lot? I mean, do you guys all own lot? They're like, I'm telling you, when I talk about Coyote Pass, like it is almost like talking about Taylor Swift. Like people they're drawn to Coyote
Are
Pass.
you serious?
It needs its own
Yes.
Instagram page.
I didn't know Coyote Pass was that big of a thing. I mean, I know I've seen like people like, I don't know, people who do TikToks or YouTube. I don't know what these people are called. Influencers? Is that the word?
Sometimes.
But they go out and they travel, shit stores, whatever it is they're called. I don't know. They travel and they go to all these places.
Oh my God.
Like Coyote Pass, and they take a picture of themselves at Coyote Pass.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's funny.
I don't TikTok. I think that's just not my
like I didn't realize that it was that big of a thing. I mean, I knew some people went and did it, but I didn't know it was that big of a thing.
Meri, it's enormous. Like people look up your tax records. They want to know. I mean, I guess that is the question.
People do that with everything.
Yeah.
With it.
I mean,
we should go to Coyote Pass and take a selfie.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Do you want to come with us?
I'll be there. Yeah, you tell me the
weekend. We'll let you know when we're going.
But wait, Meri, are you still a part owner of it though? Would you ever really build there, even if it wasn't the barn dominium?
Sometimes there's things I can't talk about.
Gotcha. No problem. Okay, we'll move on from that. No worries. Guys, did a scene from season 18 stick out to you? Whether it was maybe it was the barn dominium one, but and I know, Jen, you don't watch. Meri, was there any scene for you this past year you like? Because I thought this past season was awesome in the way that I thought each one of you, there were so many emotions, right? It all had kind of come to a head at season 18, right? And I say this on my podcast all the time. I have no ill will towards Kody and Robyn at all. They are people who have given their lives on TV for entertainment. And to be quite honest, you sometimes need a villain in every show to have a hero. And I give them credit that they have shown up year after year.
I've been the villain on our show.
And before. You have. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you're right. Everybody loves a good villain.
Everybody does. And this season, but what I saw in Kody and Robyn, maybe you can elaborate on this, but I thought they are two people that are in love. And finally, they get to, I guess, just truly be the two of them, which I know you probably have different feelings about because you're like, you would have been helpful to tell me like 10 years ago. But anyway, but everybody had a real moment this season. Did anything stand out for you?
I think for me, like that last episode, when we were like of the actual season, our breakup conversation is what I like to call it, out on Coyote Pass, like I was very pleased with how that went. Like I went there, honestly, I went there with a plan. And there were things that I wanted to bring up and I wanted to be talked about, and they were. And then also there were things that he was like, said some really silly things, and I'm like, really, and it was just so obvious, and like the thing about like, well, I could fake it, you know what I mean? It's like, but why? And Robyn being like, are you okay with this, like this breakup? I'm like, yeah, like why wouldn't I be? I'm not going to sit here and force myself. Like up until fairly recently, prior to that, like within that year, I was in a place of like, he hadn't spoken to me so definitively. I'd heard tangents and I'd heard temper tantrums and stuff like that, but he and I never had that up until that year. We hadn't had those definite conversations. Like he was not saying those things to me. Sure, I was seeing it on the show. I watched the show. People are always saying, does she not see what he says? Yeah, I'm not stupid. You might think that I am, but I'm not. I see the things that are being said. But I also deserve to have those things said to me, so I kind of made that happen.
Yeah.
And what he was saying to you didn't match.
That's true. He was saying different things than he was saying on the show.
But it almost seemed like he was doing it for Robyn. Do you think that part was true? I know you've said like you said on the show on season 18, like Robyn then wouldn't call you. I mean, did Robyn really want you to stay, or you don't think so? Like, were the tears real?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that I think that she did want me to stay. I feel like that she was sad. I feel like that she had this idea when she came in the family of, this big plural family. I really think that. But then things were not matching up either.
Yeah.
And I got that from Kody too. It's like things, there was a lot of confusion. Let's just say there was just a lot of confusion.
Do you see them now? I know you guys are getting ready. Obviously, season 19 is going to launch, but do you see them now? Do you have a relationship?
I mean, I've seen them on occasion and, talked and texted a little bit, but it's not, I'm in this place where I'm moving forward with my life, and they were, there's aspects of my life that they still need to be involved in, but my day-to-day is my best friend, and my day-to-day is my people that, are helping me to move forward. And I don't want to interact with people that are not helping me to move forward,
Yeah. Last question, ladies. You guys have both been terrific. What are we looking forward to in the next year? I mean, we've really covered it all. I mean, Jenn is finding you a hot man. We have launched incredible businesses.
I cannot wait for this.
No, final question. Where do you guys both see yourself in the next year? We have Jenn getting you on Raya, the high-end dating site. I'm coming on board the Meri World team. Meri is taking over the world. I mean, Meri, Jenn, what are the goals? What are your hopes for this fall as we head into a huge TV season? Give it to us, ladies.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know. We've got so much on our plate that is so good that is coming that I'm so excited about.
It's insanity. It's busy. So
busy.
Growth. A big part of it is just growth. So our everyday is meetings about how we can grow, how we can be sustainable in what we're doing, how we can continue to make sure that we're providing things that are useful and healthy for others. And so WorthyUp is just in the beginning stages. And so it's got a lot of potential, and a lot of what she's doing is going to be fantastic and huge for people. And she just keeps growing with that. We've got a lot of other things that are coming that at some point we'll have to do a second interview and chat with you about it. Because there are some things we're not quite able to talk about yet, but they're happening and it's exciting. And,
I am so excited about some of this stuff that we can't speak about yet, but I am so excited about it. But I'm also like, WorthyUp is awesome. Like the things that we have slated for that in the next 6 months is super cool. And I'm just excited to see where it all goes.
Yeah, we're building physically, mentally, like it's just our trajectory and what we're doing is just on such a huge path. And so every time that we talk, and I'm like having to constantly rein it in because we just like, she squirrels or I squirrel, we both squirrel. And then before I know it, we're like, oh, we're going to start another business. Oh, we're going to do this. Oh, we're going to do that. And so it's bad. In fact, she told me someone was retiring. She's like, should we buy their business? And I'm like, oh,
no more.
Where would I put it? We're out of space in our town. Like there's no empty buildings left. So like, it's a lot of fun. And we're hoping the goal is to continue to offer employment opportunities and growth and fun things and opportunity. So it's a big deal.
I'm really enjoying actually the people that we are gathering into our little circle.
Yeah.
And our people that we are helping to grow and learn and, just become better humans. And I don't know, it's really cool. Everything is good. Life is good.
Amazing. Thank you both. This was like a dream come true. And Meri, I said at the start, it's just unbelievable, your career. And I hope every day you give yourself, I know it's like weird to be in it, but you should give yourself a lot of credit. You are up there with one of the greatest reality shows of all time. And that's not easy to do. And I personally want you guys to have like 3 more seasons. I want, you and Janelle and Christine to have a spinoff, or the kids to have a show. I mean, I love it. I think you guys are so dynamic and so entertaining. So thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been so much fun to visit with you. It's been awesome.